Now that I've had a little time to gather all of my thoughts, I want to break down the specs behind the Novo Select series, talk more about that $3,500 price tag, and give you some insights to my likes, my dislikes, and specifically some things that I think you need to know before you order a Novo. And quick disclaimer, I purchased this guitar with my own money. Novo does not know I'm making this video, and you are getting my complete and honest thoughts about this guitar. Let's dive in. If you are new to researching Novo guitars, you will know that they have their Select series and their Custom series, and it used to be that their Select series was only available in limited runs until they sold out, and then you had to wait until the next drop date. In this case, they have opened it up where their Select series is available at any time, and they do have some new additional paint options that you can order, but you are limited in how much you can customize this guitar without upgrading and going into their full custom series. Now with the Select series, you can still choose between 8 of Novo's models, all designed by Dennis Fano himself, but you're limited to the 35 available paint swatches that they have and only 4 different pickguard covers to choose from. Outside of that, you are locked into the pickup configuration and everything else that comes stock with those guitars. In my specific case, I opted for the Select series because I was okay with getting some of those pre-spec'd options. I did want to get the stainless steel frets, but I did not want to have to wait a year to get my custom model. And so I opted for the Select, and that's fine. I got nickel frets and they're fantastic. Now I'd been dreaming of getting a Burgundy Mist Novo for years, and it used to be that Burgundy Mist was not available in their pre-selected options. However, they did change that, and I'm so excited because it looks fantastic. Now because the Select series is going to have the exact same specs as what I got, I'll drop a link in the description for you to check out their website if you want to order a Novo yourself. And in my case, I got a really beautiful Burgundy Mist with a pine body. It's going to have a tortoiseshell pickguard. It's going to have light relicing with a nitrocellulose finish, which is going to let it age really well. Now, one thing that I was surprised about with Novo is that they use pine for their bodies. And I know that Fender used to use pine, and most guitar manufacturers did in the early 50s and 60s. However, most modern manufacturers typically use something like alder or swamp ash. But in this case, it's super lightweight, it's really resonant, and I appreciate that about this guitar. For the electronics and the hardware, it comes equipped with Fralin P90 pickups, which are definitely noisy and a little darker than I'm used to, but they're still really fantastic P90s. It also has a mastery trem system, which is fantastic. It stays in tune, but there's one caveat that I don't love, and I'll talk more about at the end. And then if you've watched the channel for a while, you will know that I am a sucker for a great neck, and Novo makes a fantastic neck. It's going to be a maple neck with rosewood fretboard, 9.5 to 14-inch compound radius, a modern 1.65-inch nut that is going to be unbleached bone, and Moto dot inlays, which look really cool. And then finally, one thing that I do like about the Novo Select series, and maybe a little dividing for some, is it comes with a mono M80 case, which I personally love. I know a lot of people think when you're spending $3,500, you should be getting a hard case. But in my case, a lot of the times, no pun intended, but in my case, when I'm typically playing guitar, I'm often carrying my amp, my son in one hand, and being able to throw my guitar in my backpack is really great. makes sense to start this next section talking more about the price. Now in this case, as I've mentioned, a new Novo Select series is $3,500, and it's the most expensive guitar I've purchased to date. I've owned 4 or 5 other guitars around that $2,000 to $3,000 price point, but I think Novo pricing themselves the way they have is a deliberate action to give their brand that level of exclusivity and prestige, that boutique experience that you're not really able to find in other price points. Now, if you do want something a little bit cheaper, but really want some of those cool styles that Novo offers, they offer their Revolta series, which is closer to $1,000-ish for a new one. And those are all made in Korea, but you still get some of those really cool offset styles from Novo. When it comes to a $2,500 guitar or $3,500 guitar, I think a lot of times you end up paying more for the brand and the exclusivity than you actually do in terms of craftsmanship and playability. Now this Novo does offer a different playing experience than my Suhr, my Jennings, or some PRS guitars that I've owned, but I don't know if it's worth the $1,000 price difference. Now, with all of that said, I have wanted a Novo for years, and hands down, it is the coolest looking guitar that I own, and it offers a really comfortable and familiar playing experience, which I'll talk about a bit more here in a second, than I've had with other guitars. Now, personally, I've never really bonded with relic style instruments in the past. I know some people absolutely love them, but I typically have preferred when I buy a guitar, I want something that feels and looks brand new. Now, of course, the Novo is not that, and that is a good thing. Continue off that point, one benefit to the Novo is that it will always be in excellent condition. As Andre Flood pointed out in his video, having a relic guitar means that you have to worry less about those moments where you may bump or ding your guitar. On the other hand, with my Suhr, I remember every ding and dent that I've placed on that guitar. Check this out. With this guitar, I can tell you all of the times where I've hit the body here, or I can tell you the specific moments where I've dinged up the back or my buckle rash has hit the guitar. And in this case, the nice thing with the Novo is I don't have that same level of worry and anxiety, especially because I've spent so much on that guitar. Of course, I'm still gonna take care of my instrument, but the nice thing about this style of guitar is it feels broken in. It feels familiar. It feels like that guitar that I just want to grab off the shelf because I know it's comfortable and it's something that's just going to be enjoyable and easy to play. And to that point, if you've watched the channel for a while, you will know I'm a huge stickler on having a really fantastic neck. Now, personally, I would prefer if the Select series had a bit more rolled fret edges. However, it's still a fantastic neck. It's super comfortable. It's sanded right where you would want it to be. It stays in tune really well, and the intonation off of the nut is fantastic. Honestly, in terms of neck playability and tuning stability, it's probably one of the best guitars that I've ever played. I've never owned a Mastery style trem before, but it is absolutely fantastic and probably one of the best vibratos on the market. I'm also starting a Warmouth build in order to Mastery trem because I love this in the Novo so much. The only thing that I don't like is when you play it unplugged, you kind of get this annoying ringing. I'll show you. So let's see if I can show you here. If I just kind of, you get that, you know, not a big deal. Still super resonant, sounds great, just a little annoying. And then probably my final thought on this guitar is that the Fralin P90s are definitely darker pickups, which can be adjusted by simply modifying amp settings, but they are very noisy. And I think Novo does a really great job shielding their guitars, but it's something that you'll notice when playing or when you're not playing your guitar. All in all, all, I'm super stoked about this guitar. It is really fantastic and probably one of the most resonant guitars I've ever played in my entire life. If you've got questions, be sure to comment down below, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.